Wow, this really is a big place, David, you're right. So a couple years ago, I took a course from my employer on leadership, and the first speech was on change management. So the speaker used a metaphor that I thought was really very appropriate, and he talked about career paths in the past as being like a canoe ride. You paddle, you keep paddling, eventually you get where you're going to go. Career paths today are more like a kayaking ride. I don't know how much of you are kayakers, but it's not about the paddling if you're a kayaker. It's about when the river flips you over, can you roll? And I thought, I'm a mommy. I can roll. Mommies can roll. For example, so in July of 1998, I was a relatively new mommy. I had only 2 children. Adam was 3, Sarah was 1, and we were facing our first big role as a family. We were moving from San Antonio, Texas to Belleville, Illinois. Adam was 3, and he was really not happy about the move. Really not happy about the move. And so we negotiated. I don't know how many of you have toddlers. Never do this, right? Negotiating with toddlers is a very bad idea. They are completely irrational, yet they are completely ruthless. So if the little tear in the corner of your eye doesn't get you, you know the meltdown is coming. And so you give in, and we gave in, and we promised that the very first day that we arrived in St. Louis, where we were staying with my grandparents, a full 45 minutes from our new home, that we would take him to see his new home. Now, we promised this despite the fact that we couldn't get into our home for another week, and despite the fact that we had spent 14 hours in the car the day before. Yet there we were, our first morning in St. Louis, throwing all the extraneous things out of the car that we had stuffed in there the day before as we were preparing to move, to have some comfort in the car as we're driving. He allowed us to stop to eat at a toddler-approved restaurant, and we were moving on. We were 10 minutes from our new house, now more than 30 minutes from anyone that we remotely knew. I am in my usual position in the back of the car, in between the 2 car seats, when I hear from beside me, Now, for those of you who have children, you know that is the unmistakable sound of a baby about to vomit. So for those of you who don't have children, you may not realize that baby vomit is an emergency. 1, because baby vomit waits for no daddy to pull the car off the side and you get out of the car. And 2, even months later, sour milk in your car, well, that begets more vomit in your car. So this is an emergency. And of course, in this moment, I also realized that I have just removed everything in the car that could possibly contain the vomit that is about to come. Yet action is required. While Dave watches wide-eyed in the rearview mirror, I can see him staring at me. I whip myself out of my restraints. I get Sarah out of the car seat. I hold her up in front of me, and just as she's about to erupt, now, there's a lot in popular literature about moms who throw themselves in front of grizzly bears. But I'm here to tell you that everyday mommy courage more often involves flying bodily fluids. In this case, half-digested SpaghettiOs. And just as she erupts, I have her in front of me, whoop, vomit is contained. Yes, this is what mommy victory looks like. Vomit covered. So now we got to move on to the cleanup phase. Most of mommy victories have some cleanup phase. I look around for my resources. I have clothes for Sarah. I'm not a complete rookie. I have no colors for myself. We're starting to exit the ramp. There is a Dollar General over there. There's a McDonald's right there. David, you're going to go to Dollar General with Adam. You're going to get me a T-shirt. You're going to drop me at McDonald's. McDonald's, you think? Why would I want to go to McDonald's? Well, I know something about McDonald's at this time because I have small children, right? McDonald's features a side entrance where if one wants to get themselves to the bathroom without being observed, they should be able to do it. And McDonald's employees are generally of a class such that they're not going to challenge you if you haven't quite made a purchase yet, right? So we slip in. One elderly couple enjoying a late McMuffin, just enough eye contact not to be rude, not so much to invite inspection of the vomit-covered baby that I'm carrying, and we slide into the bathroom. We got it. So rip off my shirt, whip off Sarah's onesie, wash off our clothes, wash off me, wash off our children. How I do this when she can't stand, I can't actually remember, but I get it all done. And I turn. We are so close, all I have to do is get dried off. There is not a single paper towel in the whole bathroom. We are facing down one of those clunky old hand dryers, and that is it. Now, this is before, like, the apple slices instead of French fries in the Happy Meals, and McDonald's had a conscience about paper waste. I'm just totally stupefied. But you know what? I'm a mommy, and we got to roll. So we are literally rolling through the blow dryer when Adam comes and brings me a shirt, slightly soggy, we take off. Now, I chose this story from among the 57 stories that I like to tell my children that they are tired of hearing because I knew it was memorable. And I know it was memorable because about 3 years later after this, I got an email from a mommy friend of mine to whom I had told the story, probably more than once, that had no body, just subject line, and it said, Arby's doesn't have paper towels either. I don't need to tell you the rest of that story.